want to talk a little bit about the game we just saw. That's Jason Kidd. That's Dan Van Gundy. His name is Paul Pierce. Paul George seemed like he was getting a little something off his chest with this game, maybe shutting some people up, trying to get ready as we head towards the end of the season. Did you get the same vibe?
I'll tell you what, he was really aggressive at both ends of the floor. He was physical, he was tough, he made shots. That's the Paul George they need to have going forward into the playoffs, like Paul was talking about in the pregame.
Yeah, like I said, he needs to be their best player. If they're going to go deep into the playoffs, Russell Westbrook is going to be Russell Westbrook, but in order for this team to really reach its potential, Paul George has to play at an MVP level on both ends of the court. And, Russell has to defer to him, too. He can do so many other things, rebounding and pass, but Paul George has to be that go-to guy.
Defense helped them win this game. That third quarter, they put on a show. That's why they're one of the best defensive teams in the league.
I know that we were going to, in the last 9 games or so of the season, you sort of take something from every game with these playoff-bound teams, but a 24-0 run in the third being allowed at this point, can you read too much into that, or is that something that you should be concerned about?
Well, that's a great run, and especially against a good team like Indiana, who's very solid on both ends of the floor, and I think it's the biggest run in the NBA this year.
That's nuts.
So, pretty impressive.
But what are the Pacers doing?
OKC, they hang their hat on the defensive end anyway. If you expect any team to do this with their ability to get steals and get easy layups on the pick twos. What do we call it?
What did we decide we were calling those? Pick two, right? No.
Pick two?
That doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Pick two, yeah.
Take two.
We'd like to take two on the show. That's okay.
Take two.
You're lucky we're not arguing wagers yet. We'll wait till the last 45 seconds.
That's coming.
Bad boy. But there are other games. We should probably talk about some of the other ones. The Warriors trying. They're very much tied up, holding on to that for in the West. And there you go. Things starting to wind down. Thunder there, holding on to that 7th spot. Blazers holding 3rd. But I think what a lot of people are probably going to remember is Monday night was a really, really tough night for this Portland Trailblazers team. Losing Nurkic the way they did, a devastating injury. And it's not just they lost one of their best players, it's this particular team losing one of their best players at this point in the season. It's almost as if they are cursed. So what happens now? How much of a shot do they have to make some noise in the playoffs?
I think it's going to be tough on him because, for one, he was very productive. He's a big part of what they do. CJ McCollum, we don't know how he's going to get back to full strength when he comes back. So if you're one of these teams at the bottom half, you're hoping to get Portland in the playoffs because they're not healthy. Dame Lillard can only do so much. I mean, he's a great player. He may be first or second team All-NBA this year, but that's not enough. They need their supporting cast, and they got 2 members who are down that are big pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, but you got to give Neil O'Shea a lot of credit for going out and getting Enes Kanter. He'll at least be able to keep him up offensively. Now, defensively, they take a big blow.
In the worst possible way. To keep the spirits up, what can you even do?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because this team obviously the whole year has been predicated on playing better in the playoffs. They've been a good regular season team. People want to see them step up in the playoffs. And now this close to the end of it, you have a key piece go down. It's really, really difficult. I agree with Jason now. Terry Stotts will do a great job. He'll have them ready, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. But that's a big loss.
Big loss.
It takes so much of the wind out of the air, out of the room. And you just look like, man, they lost first round last year, where you feel like they should have won. Then you're like, okay, we're gonna take some steps forward this year. But then you lose these players, and they didn't. And it's like you lose these players. And if I'm Dame, I'm like, come on.
In the privacy of my own home, if I'm Dame, there's some things
you have to be good and lucky to win in this league.
You're cursed. But moving on, we've got
He's going to have to look to see if his teammates aren't making shots. He's got to step up and take them.
Lakers Jazz. That's coming up next. We'll be here at halftime, though. Mike Breen and Doris Burke. They will have the call. Stat padding time.
Oh, man, that was a good.
Oh, God.
That was good.
I like that.
Was.
And you guys know, you would have said the same thing. Val McGee. The best line ever a coach had is,
Last night, 30 in the first half tonight. Paul, I'll start with you. Can you build around him?
I think you can. I mean, he's a great ability to score. And this year, I like how he's improved his playmaking. You know, he's really getting the others involved, showing he's not a one-dimensional player. It'll be interesting to see how he looks around a winning environment. So when he gets more talented veterans around him, then we'll see. But I believe he's a player you can build around. Yeah, hey, that's not even a question no more. They gave him build around money.
They did. And so you have to build around him. The tough thing for that group is literally Devin Booker, I think, is a great player. He has not played a meaningful game in his NBA career. Not one.
Ouch.
That's a crazy thing to say out loud, and it's completely true.
Yeah, and it's tough. You know, I mean, to build the habits to become a winning team when you're in your fourth year and haven't played a single meaningful game.
Does that affect him?
No, it's not his fault.
Right.
He's doing his job.
Right.
He's getting better each game, but unfortunately, as Coach just said, he hasn't played an important game yet.
I wonder what it's going to look like when he does finally, hopefully, one day have that chance. I guess we're going to learn a lot.
Well, I think he's going to be okay because not only have we seen the scoring, we were talking back there, we saw, especially early in the year, we saw his ability to make plays for other people. They need to get a point guard. He and Ayton, not bad young guys to build around. They badly need a point guard to go with those guys.
We'll give you a little bit of our game. We're not going to ignore you completely. How about Lance? Got 3 of his 7 points.
By McDonald's.
We're still here. Welcome inside Studio H in LA. Jason Kidd, Stan Gundy, Paul Pierce. Your face says it all.
I know
Stan.
this is the segment where we're going to do the wagers.
Well, you have
It's gonna be bad.
2 blocks until we get to that. That's the good news.
This is bad.
I know, but I'm anticipating the pain.
Look at this guy. You just do a couple wagers. You know what's going on. We've got the game of the night, and if I told you it was Wizards Suns, would you believe me?
Wizards?
Because it is. Devin
Booker got 50. How does he not get the last shot?
Well, he did, but it wasn't any good. It was the second straight 50-point game. All right, we talked about lists at halftime. Here's another good list to be on. I'm not going to ask you what the numbers mean, if they mean anything at all. Tied for 7th highest percentage of a team's points over a 2-game span in history, but he's the first player in NBA history to lose the first 3 games in which he scored 50 points. That's a little bit of the downer as far as that goes. So this has been going on since last night. Chauncey on the text thread with everyone keeps wanting to argue about, do you take Booker or do you take Donovan Mitchell?
Put our texts
well, only the work-related parts.
Just
only the work-related. So, and you have stood by your pick, which is
Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
If I had to choose between Donovan Mitchell and Booker, I got to go with Donovan Mitchell right now because the simple fact he's shown me he can carry a team to the playoffs. He's had playoff success, winning a first-round playoff matchup against Russell Westbrook and the Thunder.
Okay.
And I got to give that the edge right now. I mean, I know the numbers speak differently what Booker has done, but to me, team success counts, and he's had more team success.
But they were playing side by side on the screens tonight. It was a good night to watch them together, and you think what?
Devin Booker.
Yeah.
The next step, you're a coach, and so just give him some patience.
Right.
But we got to get some fans to come to the game.
Whew.
How are you going to do that? That's
I know
okay.
you used to play for Phoenix, Jay, but I don't know what direction they're going right now. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, it's been like this for a while, and Jason's right. I mean, they've got to get him some help. And it was interesting tonight. We were watching it, close game. Their second best. I mean, DeAndre Ayton's not even on the floor
with
crunch
3 minutes.
time. I don't know why. I don't know if he's hurt or what.
Rest.
But if they're going to win, maybe load management. I mean, you can't say rest. That's not scientific.
Load management. We know.
Load management. No, he tried to throw out rest. Come on, that's antiquated.
That's fair. The West standings right now, not a lot moved around tonight, actually. If anything at all, it's pretty much looking exactly the same. Thunder win. Let me ask you this, because Russell Westbrook had another triple-double. That was a wager. Did you get that one, Stan? Okay. Jason, I'm going to go to you on this. As far as what he's been able to do, and we saw, obviously, Paul George showed up much bigger tonight than he has been in the past. Have we gotten so spoiled that a Russell Westbrook triple-double seems to be just expected at this point?
Yeah, we're spoiled. It's just the norm now. I mean, he's going to do it for 3 seasons in a row. And so it's like, show us something else. Do something else.
What else?
Yes. And so, it's the norm. And understand he can do it before halftime. But again, I think you said it best. George has to play at the MVP level to help them win. But Russ sets the tone. He comes right out the jump ball, and he sets the tone for this team. And he gets the big fellas, Adams the ball. And now, they're going to be tough to beat in that first round, I think.
Stan, do you have a player of the night?
Well, I was going to go Alex Caruso.
Oh, as well.
I was, because, I mean, he was putting on a show there for a while for the Lakers. But I'm going to have to go Joe Ingles with what he did. 14 assists tonight. He hit the big three to give him a chance at a triple-double.
Look at how close he was.
They haven't had a triple-double in 11 years in Utah, and they pulled him with like 2 minutes to go, and all he needed was a rebound. It was very disappointing.
Does that mean they didn't know?
I don't know, but Joe didn't seem to be like, either he didn't know or didn't care.
I look at that.
He wasn't going after a rebound.
That just says a lot about the culture of Utah.
Yes, absolutely.
What does it say?
They don't care.
No, they don't care. You're right. That's absolutely
I think they just
right.
weren't aware that it was that close.
They were all laughing at. He and Donovan Mitchell were laughing about it on the bench at the end.
The fans finally figured it out at the end there. It was too late. All right, coming up, McDonald's.